Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today we are doing a full face of Glossier. I'm pretty positive like 90% of the makeup products. I don't really have much of the skincare, so I'm going to go over that just really briefly. I started with washing my face with the Glossier Milky Jelly Cleanser. It's a really interesting cleanser. It's literally just like it says, Milky Jelly Cleanser. It literally, like, it doesn't do anything. I don't know. I don't want to say it doesn't do anything because I'm just so used to a foaming cleanser, having oily skin, like foaming up. This doesn't do that, so I don't know. I'm assuming it's cleaning the skin, but you just like don't get that foaming effect, and it doesn't like feel clean afterwards. It just feels like moisturized. So I don't know, it's not like something I'm completely dying over, but if you have dry skin, it's kind of like the CeraVe Hydrating Cleanser. I just prefer foaming cleansers because I have oily skin, but I was glad to try it because there is a lot of hype around this. And I'm also interested to see how it works with like removal of makeup, because that is another thing that they kind of say it can be used for. So next I'm going to go in with the Glossier Priming Moisturizer. So this is just like their lightweight moisturizer. They have a more rich one, and then they also just recently came out with one that's for more oily skin, which is supposed to make you more matte. I did not pick that one up. I only picked up this one because that one didn't necessarily interest me. I know that there is some type of retinol in this product, so if you are pregnant or like, you know, you're not supposed to use retinol, something worth looking into. But I think this moisturizer is really nice. I don't feel like it really has a scent. Oh, something I wanted to mention, I feel like this cleanser definitely has a scent to it, and I don't know if it's like added fragrance or if it just, that's the way it smells, but that is one of the first things I noticed. Yeah, so I feel like this is a really good moisturizer. If you had dry skin, this probably wouldn't be enough for you, but I feel like for my normal to oily skin, this works fairly well. The only non-Glossier product I am going to use is I'm going to go in with a sunscreen, just because you should wear sunscreen every day. And I don't own the Glossier sunscreen. I haven't really heard that great of things about it. So I just wasn't really interested in picking it up, and I have a sunscreen I like, so I didn't want to do that. I'm also gonna go in with my balm.com. I haven't taken that out of the box yet. It's just the universal one. I mostly use this as a lip balm, but you can definitely use it for a lot of other things, and it comes in a lot of flavors, scents, shades. I mean, some of them are tinted. I don't know that I would call them shades, but like flavors, I guess you could say. But I've just stuck with the original. I've had it once before. Maybe in the future I will try some other of their scents, flavors, whatever you want to call them, because they are interesting, but it is a little bit spendier of a lip balm, but it will last you quite a long time because this is half an ounce of product. And I really do like the formula on it. I know the formula, they say it can vary over the different types, but I like the original one. So now that we are essentially done with the skincare, I'm gonna go in with the Glossier Future Dew. So it looks like this. It's got this very like holographic type looking packaging. It's really, really pretty. So this says oil serum hybrid. I don't really know what the definition of this product is, and also I do have oily skin, so keep in mind I'm not gonna like pump out a ton of this and put it all over my face. So what I'm gonna do is pump just like a few little mini, those were not full pumps, I only got this much on my hands. I'm gonna rub them together, and then I'm just gonna put it on the high points of my face. So like right here on my cheeks, and then maybe even a little bit up here. Sometimes I kind of do like the brow bone, this area. I don't want to do like my direct nose and right here because that's where I get pretty oily, but I'll do a little bit of this, and then I'll kind of just like pat the rest around my cheeks and up here. If you had drier skin, you could definitely put this all over, but like I already get pretty shiny right here and right here, so I'm not gonna play that up any more than it needs to be. But I don't know if you can tell, this definitely just gives your skin like a insane reflection. So yeah, I don't like to necessarily put that right on my nose or right in the center of my forehead, but I do like it on the high points of my face. So, and I try to avoid my chin just because, as you can see, it's kind of more acneic right there, and so I don't necessarily want to accentuate that area. So also, as you will see, I'm gonna use no brushes in this or sponges or anything. I'm just gonna be using my hands, and I feel like that's kind of a Glossier thing anyway, so, and also just makes it way easier. So now that I applied that, I'm gonna kind of let everything sit for a bit, and I'm gonna move to eyes. I'm going to use this Glossier Sky Wash. I have the shade Valley. It's like a rusty orange type. It's pretty more like vibrant orange on the lids, so I'm gonna apply like a very small amount on my lids, just because if you, the more you can definitely like build it up, but the more you go, it's very distinct, because Glossier, the rest of the products are kind of like a lighter look across the face, so I'm not going to go in too intense. And I'm just literally going to dot it on and then pat it in with my fingers. Perfect. I feel like this eye, I have like a weird vein right here, and so I feel like it doesn't quite look right ever on that eye, but I mean, I'm not that worried about it. And I feel like the more worried about it you are, the more effort you spend, and I feel like this whole type of thing is supposed to be like an effortless type of look. So I'm just gonna be like, I'm not gonna worry about it, I'm gonna let it go. So now that the eyes are basically done, I mean, it was really quick and simple, but that's basically Glossier, you know what I mean? So now I'm gonna go on to the perfecting skin tint. So as you can see, a lot of people who do Glossier videos have like literally perfect skin, and honestly my skin's doing pretty well. From my point of view, I don't really have anything going on up here. It's just mostly scarring, and I pretty much just have a little bit of redness down here. So in my perspective, my skin's doing pretty good. Compared to others who may do Glossier videos, their skin's literally already flawless when they start the video. So this product isn't gonna like cover anything. It just kind of smooths out the skin, and I am not really that worried about coverage because it's my skin. Like, I'm not trying to feel like heavy makeup on my face. I was really self-conscious about it like a couple years ago, and over time I'm just like, you know what, it's my skin, it's acne, it's natural, and I just don't want to make it be uncomfortable and itchy and that type of stuff, and I just kind of want to let it breathe. So I'm kind of on to lighter makeup now anyway, so this isn't gonna cover, and you're gonna see it right here, but I just wanted to let you know, like, if you think this is gonna solve your acne problems, it's not. Also, I should have mentioned, I have the shade G10, and I think this is like a light neutral type shade. It's like, I could use this probably year round just because it is so low coverage. So I don't think the shade is like a huge deal, but just FYI if you are similar skin tone to me. So hopefully you guys can tell, it really did just even out my skin. You can obviously still see my marks down here. They aren't as red, but they're red. I mean, it's very clear like that I still have acne. It covered my forehead scarring like fairly well. Obviously it didn't completely cover it up, but it's really low coverage, so the fact that it covered it a little bit is good to me. Also, I am going to go in next with the Stretch Concealer, also in the shade G10. This does have a little bit more coverage, so I'm going to maybe hit the spots that are a little bit more concerning to me and like under my eyes and stuff like that. So this is in a pot, but I literally just like stick my finger in and go right in. Some people use their beauty blender right into the pot, and I've tried that. I don't know, I kind of prefer the finger. Okay, so there is the concealer on. As you can see, I mean, it did really help my under eyes. I absolutely love this concealer on my under eyes. I was a little nervous because people said it like stays really dewy, and I have a lot of creasing problems under my eyes, but this concealer does really well with my under eyes, and I don't know why. So I really enjoy this. And so yeah, I don't feel like you need to be as scared. Like, I feel like I was really scared to try it because people are like, it's really dewy, it never sets down, it might slide all over on your under eyes. But it really doesn't. Also, it's not super high coverage, so if you have really dark circles, it's not really going to cover that much. And as you can see from my chin, like, it did cover a little bit, but you can still see them. So like, if you have really prominent circles under your eyes, I don't think this is the answer for you. But I was pleasantly surprised, and I feel like most people have the opposite opinion than I do. So next we're gonna do the cloud paints. These are the two shades I have. So Dawn, which is new, it's like pretty orangey type colored, which I thought goes along well with this situation. And then I also have the shade Dusk. So this is more of like a nudie color. It's not like pink, it's like distinctly nude, and I really do love this shade. As you can tell, it's pretty squeezed out. I think what I might do today is mix the two of them together just to give a little bit of an in-between color, maybe closer to my eye look. So how I typically apply this really bright shade, I just put a little bit on my finger, like literally like that much. That might even be too much since I'm gonna mix these together. But we'll see. Okay, I'm gonna literally put just that much to mix together. And I might just mix them right here on my finger. The red will probably overtake the majority of it. It's still pretty red, but so I'm gonna mix them together, and I'm just literally gonna like pat it on my face, and then I'm gonna use all three of my fingers to pat it in. It starts off really intense, and I feel like as it blends in with your skin, it kind of tones down a little bit, so I don't feel like you have to be as nervous. Like, it does tone down quite a bit. Okay, so I feel like that looks good. I feel like this side looks darker, but I think it's how the sun is coming through the window. I think actually, like, in person, it doesn't, in my mirror, it doesn't look as dark on this side. So I think they're actually pretty even. So they don't have a bronzer, which I'm totally okay with. I don't really care. But I am gonna go in with the Glossier Halo Scope. I have the shade Quartz, which is like their medium, more champagne colored shade. Also, I find if you go in with the Future Dew to start, you don't really need a highlight, in my opinion. Also, this one can be a little bit sticky, so I feel like that deters people. Like, it doesn't necessarily dry down, but for the video specifically, I'm gonna go in with this. Before Future Dew was out, I really did like this, but now that there's Future Dew, I feel like you don't necessarily need both of them, and I feel like Future Dew is easier and less mess, like, to deal with, kind of, just because you put it on first and it doesn't stay sticky on your face. But I do like this. but I don't know if I like it as much as I like Future Dew now. So as you see, it gives a little bit of something extra. I feel like the Future Dew just shines through more, and so you'd have to kind of use a lot of this to give the same level as the Future Dew. But what I do like is this is pretty, like, the shade is essentially clear, like it doesn't have a lot of base pigment to it, so it pretty much just looks like the gloss on your face, which I really do appreciate. So that's essentially everything for like the base face. Essentially, they only really have those two products. They have a powder. I haven't really heard that great of things about it, and I have a ton of powder, so I couldn't possibly purchase that. I'm gonna do my brows and the mascara now. So I'm just using a spoolie to brush up my brows. Honestly, my brows don't need that much help. They've been doing really, really good over quarantine. They've really just like come into shape. I'm only just gonna fix this one a little bit. I'm gonna use the Brow Flick in the shade Blonde. So this is like their brow pen. They don't have a brow pencil to my knowledge, but they do have the Boy Brow, which is like their version of a brow gel. In my opinion, the gloss or the ColourPop one works just as good as the Glossier Boy Brow, so I haven't repurchased Boy Brow, but I'm not going to use the ColourPop one today because I really only wanted to use Glossier products. So I'm just going to go in with this and then hope my brows stay, essentially. Okay, so I feel like that just gave a little bit extra definition on this side where the shape isn't quite the same. Also, something to note though, I feel like as soon as you apply this, it stays a little bit wet for a little bit, so before you brush it out, you just want to make sure it dries down, because I feel like if you brush it away too quickly, it might just kind of like take it away and then you need to start over again. So I don't brush it away too quick. I kind of let it sit before I go in to see if I need any touch-ups, but I think it looks pretty good. It's just a color though. It's not going to hold your brows in place, so you'll definitely want to put something additional if you want to hold your brows into place. I am, for the first time, going to use the Glossier Lash Slick. I haven't used this before. It's my first time opening it. So here is what the wand looks like. It's a very plasticky, hard bristled, but short bristles, hard and short bristled wand. It's definitely like not big bristles by any means, and it tapers significantly at the end. Don't know if you can see that whatsoever, but I've heard good things about this, so I'm excited to try it. First impression after doing one eye, I feel like it really grabs onto every single lash, and so it made my lashes actually look pretty long compared to the other side. It's not a heavy mascara, so it's not going to be like really clumpy in there or anything, so it doesn't necessarily make my lashes look extremely full. It just kind of separated them and made them look black, so I'm interested to see if it does the same thing on the other side, and it might also do the lower lashes as well. Okay, so here is the mascara. I feel like it did a ton for my bottom lashes, and I honestly haven't put mascara on my bottom lashes in probably 2 years, so it's making them look very distinct compared to how they normally look. But they're not, I mean, they don't look bad. I feel like they definitely make my eyes look bigger because I have the bottom mascara on now. Like I said, same for the top lashes. They're definitely not like voluminized, and I also didn't like curl them or anything, so that could be part of it. But I actually do like this mascara. I feel like it's very separating. I don't necessarily do a ton to my eyes, and I feel like the bigger the wand, the harder of the time I have. But I don't necessarily think like, oh, if you're going to like a special event and you wanted your lashes to look like bang, I don't think I would recommend this for the top, but I would recommend it for the bottom for sure for those events. But for every day, I would definitely use this for the top. And I actually really do like it. I like how it's separated. I have a really big problem with my lashes clumping together with most mascaras, so I actually do enjoy it. And then lastly, I'm gonna go in with the Generation G lipstick in the shade Zip. So I've never had one of these, so I don't know how many times this is the reformulation because I know they've really done a lot with them. But I went with the more red color just because I knew they were sheer and I have plenty of sheer nudes, so I thought it would be fun to go with a sheer red. So there it is, lightly patted on. It honestly doesn't even really look red. It kind of just looks like my shade of the shade of my lips just kind of smoothed out. If you go in heavier, like really pressed down and not like tap like I did, it will become more red. But I felt like with the toned down eyes and the cheeks that I blended the two of these together, it looks better, just this lighter red. If I just did this one, I feel like the more deeper red would maybe be appropriate, but I feel like that looks really, really good. Yeah, I am pretty impressed by all of the Glossier products I tried. I feel like a lot of people bash them because of the light coverage and like, I don't know, I feel like their products are certain of their products are for very specific skin types and, you know, preferences and stuff like that. So I can see how they get a lot of bad raps. But I actually think it turned out really, really well. And I actually liked a lot of the products more than I thought I would, because a lot of these are really, really new to me. So if you were deciding what you should purchase from Glossier, or if you wanted to see them applied before you did purchase them, I hope this helped you. Thank you for joining me in this video here today. I hope you have a great rest of your day wherever you are, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.